What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nerdosophy, and like I said on Wednesday, this is a bit of a topic of controversy almost as of late, especially with Batman vs. Superman coming out and having these mixed reviews. So, I'm going to be explaining the Martha situation. And yes, spoilers. I don't know how else to say it. Spoilers. If you didn't watch the movie and you want to see the movie, don't watch this, because I'm going to be talking about a few spoilers and what I think this universe is headed towards. But yeah, spoilers. I think there are a lot of people, because it's so many books jammed into a movie, that get lost within this. And there are story arcs, both of Superman and Batman, that aren't told, but they're hinted at. As in, Batman has lost his way. That, I think, is a given that no one ever really talks about, or I haven't really heard people talk about. The whole Batman killing, which is what I was originally going to do, but I was thinking about it, and I think this is a better way to do it, is Batman has been through a lot. This Batman has been through so much, in fact, that I'm going to try to break it down and guess what he's been through, just by seeing through the movie. Now, obviously there was a reference to Two-Face in the movie, where he said, oh, we've seen guys who are good turn bad. I'm pretty sure that's a direct reference to Two-Face, Harvey Dent. But also in one of the nightmares, like I said in the review, you see Man-Bat, so he's dealt with supernatural before as well, and these weird oddities of people, like Bane and like Clayface, like those kind of people. So he's dealt with that harsh, intense stuff, that these freaks of nature attacking him. So he's hardened on that, but the main point here is the Jason Todd arc. If they're doing Death in the Family, which it looks like they did because, well, the Robin suit, ha ha ha, joke's on you. That's a reference to Jason Todd's death. Now, hypothetically speaking, if Batman is in his early 40s, late 30s area, maybe mid 40s, he's been through all of that. And if that arc is in his story, which, assuming rightfully so, that is in his story, we are rightfully to assume that Killing Joke is in his history as well. So he's dealt with the death of Jason Todd, his partner, the guy who promises to protect, and he didn't keep that promise, wasn't able to. And then also you have Barbara Gordon becoming paralyzed and having those awful things done to her by the Joker. And judging from the Joker in the trailers of the Suicide Squad, this Joker is a lunatic. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually have him do stuff like that. So what I'm guessing is he's become so hardened by all this awful, tragic stuff happening to him, he completely lost his way. And with the Martha thing, because he has Superman at his weakest, and Superman wants to save his mother, whose name just so happens to be Martha, like Martha Wayne. Now, saying I have to save Martha didn't just go like people are putting it, oh, we became best friends because our moms have the same name. No, it wasn't that. It reminded Bruce why he became Batman in the first place. Save Martha. He didn't want kids to feel how he felt that day when he lost both of his parents at once. Both two important people in his life taken away from him by selfishness. That is why he became Batman. To strike fear in the hearts of people who would do such awful, tragic things. And that's his core, what he wanted to do. But after losing a young kid in Jason Todd who trusted him. And after the things with Barbara Gordon, which I'm assuming happened, no, that's assumption, pure assumption, that the Killing Joke is in this cinematic universe. But I think it's safe to assume that if they're gonna do the Jason Todd story, why wouldn't they do the Killing Joke story? Especially with this kind of Joker. Like, if this was Heath Ledger's Joker, I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get Heath Ledger's Joker doing this. But the way they're portraying Jared Leto's Joker, I'm not surprised if he did that. I would not be surprised at all. He's a lunatic. Not just an anarchist person who likes chaos. He likes chaos and then some. He'll do whatever it takes to get into his enemies' heads, and that's how it seems like he's portraying it. Like, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. That's something a psychopath says. Someone who doesn't care. Someone who wants to get into someone's head. So, I'm assuming that was pure assumptions on my part, but I do think this Batman has obviously been through a lot, not just the Jason Todd death. So, that's why the Martha thing hit him. It wasn't just, oh, my mother's name, it was save Martha, which has always been in his head. When he's fighting these criminals, he's always save Thomas, save Martha, save Thomas, save Martha. That's in his head because that's the reason he started it in the first place. But now he's an old, hardened man, and that's why he let his emotions get the best of him, which is why Lex Luthor easily blindsided him and was able to manipulate him, just for the fact that he's been through all this stuff. This is assuming he's been through all this stuff, but I'm pretty sure they're kind of pushing that story arc with Jason Todd, so he's been through a lot. And losing a young psychic, a very young psychic, gets the best of you. If you read any Captain America before Winter Soldier even came into play, him losing Bucky was intense because he was a kid. And you feel responsible the same way Batman felt responsible for Jason. So that hardens him. He becomes extremely cold. And not like the brooding Batman that people always like make fun of. He became so cold to the fact that he just didn't care anymore. And he realized, yes, there is a likelihood that Superman can go bad and blow up this planet, and he doesn't want to take that chance. That's a Batman thing. But a Batman thing is also listening to reason and having even more heightened detective skills, but his emotions got the better of him when he just saw all that destruction that happened. Of course, he would just let things manipulate him, things blind him to the fact. And it not only does that line rehumanize Batman, but it humanizes Clark. As in, Clark wants to just save his mother. Right now, that's all what he was about when that happened. And yes, I was happy that I started seeing Superman be Superman. Because I don't care what you say, that very last scene when he picked up that spear and Lois is trying to stop him, he goes, I'm doing this because I have to do it. Not because he wants to do it, but because he's the only one to do it. Because he's Superman. And that's what Superman does. So that's what that line meant, and I feel like nobody really understood that. Like, Batman lost his way. Superman was trying to figure out, am I good or bad for this planet? You saw most of the movie through other people's eyes and how they viewed Superman, not how Superman viewed Superman. And when you saw those rare glimpses, it was him questioning himself. It was him going, am I good for this planet? Why didn't I detect that bomb? Why didn't I do this? Why can't I save more people? It's him questioning himself, which is what Superman does. Everyone thinks of Superman as this Boy Scout, but in reality, Superman's the last of his kind. He's a person with these incredible powers, but he can't save everyone all the time, and that kills him on the inside. It kills him on the inside that he can't do it. And he questions himself, even if he's good enough for this world, which I found to be interesting, and there's deep conversations you can have with people when you fully understand the motives of the movie and what this movie was going for. Was it a bit all over the place sometimes? Yes, but when you try to break it down, like I feel like I kind of did just now, it makes a bit of sense. I wish that it was two separate movies. I feel like this would have been a great two separate films if they did it separately. But it's not what they did. And I'm going to see the really long version of this when it comes out on Blu-ray. And I'll talk about that too, because there's an extra like 30 minutes or so. So I hope you guys kind of get where I'm coming from with this, because that's what I see. I see, when I look at Ben Affleck's Batman through most of this movie, it's a Batman who's lost his way. And then the second that happens, it snaps in him that he's like, wait a minute, this is why I became Batman in the first place. This is not what I do. I don't do this. I'm too good to do this. As in, like, I'm better than killing. I'm better than doing this much harm than good. Now, with the whole Batman shooting and using guns, that's a different debate in general, and you can get into ethics and character rights and stuff like that, and is it proper for this character to do that? Well then, yes, you can get into that argument, and that's okay to get into that argument, but then again, I can counter that argument with Marvel and go, how come Tony Stark's not an alcoholic in the movie universe? That makes him more human in the comic universe, because in reality, yeah, he is a jerk, but at least he's an alcoholic jerk with problems in the comics. This, in the movie universe, he doesn't have a problem or a care in the world, really. He's just Tony Stark. So that's why I just feel like I was thinking about this a lot, and I think people should understand this is what I think that Martha line meant. Not the whole, ooh, we're friends now because our parents have the same name, which is dumb. It's a coincidence. That's what it is. But it humanizes Superman, and it humanizes Batman again. Because Batman put himself on this pedestal. Batman lost the true meaning of why he became Batman, and that's him finding it again, which is why he goes to save her. And by the way, yeah, him saying, I'm a friend of your son, I think that was just like a throwaway line, pretty much saying like, hey, yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you because I'm a dude in a dark suit you've never met before, beating up a whole bunch of people. I'm not here to hurt you. That's what he meant by that. I don't understand why people took that line way too seriously. I think that's just the Martha thing, and that is nitpicking at stuff. I think he just said that to calm her down. And, well, her being a woman who was almost choked out by Zod in the last movie, I think she could take as much of a beating as anyone else is in this universe. So, yeah, I'm excited to see the next few movies. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of the movie? And did I explain anything well enough for you guys? Because, like, I know there's a lot of people who didn't understand it. So let me know in the comments below or on Twitter. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and stay nerdy.